All right. Good evening, old school Texas Tech. We really appreciate you guys. We've been getting some more views, particularly on the Big 12 conference wide predictions. So if you would do us a favor and subscribe, like, and comment, even if it's a negative comment, that's fine. We would really appreciate it. Jordan had a good welcome, by the way. Welcome, Jordan, also known as the DFW Real Estate King.
Hey, send the
Um,
comments to Taylor, not me. Direct them at
in the
Taylor.
what? In the what?
Any comments, direct them at Taylor. If they're bad and if they're good, just direct them at me. That's all I ask.
All right. I'm fine with that. Comments are great. Whatever it is. So Jordan had a really good week last week. I guess it's all relative. He went 4-3 last week out of 7 games. I went 3-4. So anyway, our totals now at this point. Jordan, also AKA the Dallas Fort Worth Real Estate King, 44-15 on the season. Uh, I am 48-11, but it does not get any easier. Starting with this week, there are three, in my opinion, there are three basically toss-up games. The
Yep.
first one, I'm gonna let you go first, as is tradition. This is not one that I view as a toss-up. We'll see if you do, if you disagree with me. We've got Houston coming to Fort Worth to play TCU.
Well, I mean, I've decided that Houston's pretty much the worst team in the Big 12. So I think TCU at home. They're 3-2. They've lost a couple of close ones. I think they'll take care of business. I don't think Houston is going to do much, to be honest.
Vegas has it as a 16.5 point spread.
Wow,
Uh,
16 and a half. That's high.
yeah,
I keep it.
yeah,
I have not looked at any of the spreads. I like to do this without even really analyzing the
yeah, that's
spread.
fine. That's
So
fine. All
TC
right.
that one.
Okay, so the next one, we're just tell us who the winner is going to be because we have a whole separate video breaking the game down. Texas Tech at Arizona starts at 10
Ooh,
o'clock at night,
this one.
Central Standard
I'm
Time.
I'm struggling with this one. I as much as I want, I've always sworn that I wouldn't be that Homer Texas Tech guy. I'm deeply concerned with what I see. I'll keep it brief. We're on the road. It's 10 o'clock at night. I think Arizona. I would take Arizona to win this game, unfortunately, and I hope and pray that I'm wrong.
Okay. All right. This is so those two I did not view as toss-up games. This one I personally view as a toss-up game, but anyway, you tell me what you think. West Virginia at Oklahoma State. Keep in mind, other than their warm-up game, the running back for Oklahoma State, all is it Ollie Gordon? Is that
Ollie
his
Gordon,
name?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he has not. He got he rushed for 78 yards last week. He's not had a game over 100 yards other than that game against whatever warm up type money game. But so anyway, West Virginia at Oklahoma State. This to me, this is a tough one to pick. But what do you think?
I'm going Oklahoma State in that one. They're not losing again. I think Mike Gundy is a great coach, and I think Neil Brown is not.
Okay,
Oklahoma
yeah,
State's pissed off.
yeah, they are, and that's going to be a factor this week in a few of the games. It's going to be a factor for sure.
And
This one, go ahead.
Alan Bowman has the worst mustache in college football. Please continue.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do next year if he's gone. He's not playing college football anymore.
I don't have
He'll
anything.
probably,
I just want to kind of tease him a little bit.
yeah, man, you've got daggers for Bowman.
Hopefully, he
All
doesn't come.
right. Baylor going up to Ames. Iowa State's this is our first ranked team that we're talking about now. Iowa State this week is ranked 16th in the country. What do you think?
I I'm kind of I wouldn't call myself an Iowa State homer. I just think they have a really good team, and I like that coach. Baylor is running on life support. That's going to continue. But Iowa State seems to always give up a game or two. I think every year. Wouldn't shock me if this is that one, but I think they're too good for Baylor to win. I think they'll win that one comfortably.
All right. UCF at Florida. Interesting
Yep.
game.
Oh wow, no, that is interesting.
The
You
Vegas spread, just so you know, the Vegas spread on this is Central Florida is favored by 2.5.
Interesting. So is that they're in Gainesville?
They're in Gainesville.
Florida's had some major problems, dude. They've had, I mean, that Billy Napier is not getting it done, and they gave him a lot of money to come. I'm gonna go with Florida for the upset.
All right. There's another interesting one. Kansas at Arizona State. Keep in mind, Kansas lost that game to TCU at Arrowhead Stadium last week. They are only 1-4. Arizona State is coming off a bye, while Kansas did not have a bye last week.
I mean, I've Kansas. I'm really surprised because I would have I've picked them quite a few times this year. I thought they'd be a lot. I would have never believed that they'd be 1-4 right now. But I think their woes continue. I'm going to take Arizona State.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, I'm going to take a crack at it. TCU beats Houston. I think they'll actually cover the spread. I think they'll win by at least 21 points. I don't think it makes it really changes TCU's position in the Big 12 too much. I still think they're kind of like, we're starting to see the tiers of with 16 teams, you could break it down into four tiers. I still think TCU's probably in that fourth tier, but Houston's just so bad that it's I think even like a 21 point victory is not going to make that big of a difference. We're going to talk about it more in the next video. I also am, unfortunately, I'm picking Arizona as well. West Virginia, Oklahoma State. This is a really tough one. I keep thinking that Gundy at some point is gonna turn this thing around. It's kind of the way he's been for a long time. I think Gundy is a great coach, and I think Neil Brown is a pretty good coach. And so that's kind of what separates it, and also the fact that it's in Stillwater. I also like Iowa State to beat Baylor. I think David Aranda is a brilliant defensive mind. I just don't think it's gonna work as head coach at Baylor. I think he's done. Um, I'm going to I'm going to pick UCF to beat Florida, just because I think they're going to be really angry after what Colorado did to them. That's a big story. That I do not believe that Colorado is that much more talented than Central Florida. Central Florida had a bad game. They're going to be upset. They've got a veteran coach. I like Central Florida to win that game. Kansas at Arizona State. Arizona State. The big thing for me is the bye. It's also a late game at Sun Devil Stadium. I've been to a night game at Sun Devil Stadium when Tech was involved. I think Arizona State's gonna win that game. Tough slate. Tough slate. I mean, three of those games, in my opinion, are pretty much toss ups.
Yeah. So I mean, so you and I are basically same except for one game. You're taking
Yeah,
Florida, and I'm taking Florida.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's yeah. Vegas has it real close.
That,
I guess it's a little bit significant that Vegas is picking the away team, but yeah, that's gonna be a great game, and it really is interesting that I mean, who would have thought that Central Florida would be this good, where they're favored over like one of the premier programs in the state for sure. I
well,
mean,
think about this for a minute. Florida and Florida State are horrendous, and that's never happened. I mean, it hasn't happened since I've been watching football, and this goes back multiple decades.
how's Miami doing this year? I actually haven't paid a lot of
Miami's
attention.
doing Miami, I think, is 4-0, but Florida State just got blown out by SMU, dude.
I saw that. I saw that. Very interesting.
Florida's not much better. Hey, and those two teams have been smashing people since. I mean, I started watching football in like '95, and those teams were double-digit wins pretty much every year for the most part on average. No, they had a
Yeah,
few 8 or 9 wins, and Florida won a couple national titles. Anyway, not to get on that tangent, but anyway, it's interesting.
yeah, they're two very historic programs. So I agree with you. All right. Well, we will be back. We'll keep track of the records. We will be back next week. Please subscribe, like, and comment. We would really appreciate it. It'll help us to continue to improve the channel and to come up with some better content down the road. So we would really appreciate your support. And we will see you next week.
Perfect.